Ladies, gentlemen, and lady gentlemen's Andy here. It is I have returned. I haven't recorded content for a little while. I'm back. We're going to go through and answer some of your questions, your comments, give you guys a bit of free coaching. Speaking of coaching, holy shit. Those of you who have wanted one-on-one coaching from me, the big hardcore, all in coaching with me, I haven't really offered that for a while. I've only had the group coaching program, the big VIP group coaching program. I've kind of kept my calendar pretty free and I haven't done much one-on-one, paid one-on-one, but I am opening that up. So if you've been wanting the opportunity to work hardcore with me, getting a call every single week, and those calls go for like 2 or 3 hours as long as we need to talk, getting daily access to private messaging me, and I will be there for you. I will build that sex life for you, or that business, or whatever it is that you want. If this is something that you've been wanting, I'm offering it now at an extreme discount. I normally offer it for $20,000 upfront. If you pay upfront, it's $10,000 at the moment. So that's only for, I don't know, I might offer maybe 2 slots of that, so only for 2 people. Again, you have to pay the full 10K upfront. Daily access to me. I will be your personal cheerleader. For 16 weeks, you will have me, Andy, going all in with you, building that beautiful life of your dreams that you've always wanted. So if you're interested in that, there is a link down below. You can just use that to apply. Now, let's get into your questions and comments. And I swear to God, you guys and girls always have the wildest usernames. ESAUALFARO3447 says, you have no idea how many times I have watched both you and GLL, which is Chris from Good Looking Loser, videos, and actually how little I take meaningful action. Yeah, my brother, that is most people that watch. And I don't even see that as a bad thing. Like, before I read the rest of your comment, you're probably beating yourself up a little bit and feeling like, God, I wish I'd taken more action. And yeah, great, shoulda, woulda, coulda, that's fine. But I know for me personally, when I first started all of my self-improvement stuff, or just before I started it, I was in a really unhappy relationship and I watched hundreds of hours of content of people going out there and talking to girls, people just socializing and going outside, fitness advice, just like red pill advice, masculinity advice, dating advice, pickup artist stuff. I watched literally hundreds of hours, maybe even like 1,000 or 2,000 hours. And I watched that content over a period of I don't know, maybe a year, like the final year of that relationship that I was in. And at the time, yeah, just like you, I was kind of beating myself up a little bit and going, I wish I took more action. And yes, on this channel, I always tell all of you, go take some action. Don't just watch my content, blah, blah, blah. But I just know for me personally, it took a good 6 months, maybe a year, to work up the courage to be able to take the action. And you can kind of look at my channel or Good Looking Loser or other people who do, positive advice, whatever you want to call this. You can look at it as maybe building up motivation. You're basically watching it to almost brainwash yourself into believing that you can do it. And I say to all of you, yes, you can do it. You can change, you can build the life you want, you're capable, all of that. I say that, but you might need to hear me say that to you 500 times before you believe it. And I know that that's what I was doing when I was consuming all of this content. So I'm never going to shit on you if you just sit there and watch the content and you don't take action. Yes, you would like to take action. Yes, I'm going to say go out there and do something, go out there and take action, blah, blah, blah. But you're still here, my man. You're still consuming this content. And I always say, if you're at least just listening to positive self-improvement content, that is getting you a little closer. So yes, go and take action. But in the meantime, at least you're here. We're glad you're here. Yeah, man, you'll take action soon. In part, I think that I met Good Looking Loser way too early in my life and with all sorts of mental problems and insecurities. I mean, it's funny because a lot of his content would literally say it's okay to have insecurities. And I say the same shit too. But yeah, I get what you're meaning. One thing is for sure, without him, I probably would not even have given myself the chance to have dreams. Yeah, this is what I mean, man. A lot of my content, a lot of the way that a lot of you consume my content is you're basically giving yourself, I don't know, permission to even think about the fact that you're allowed to have the life that you want. You even just start dreaming. And then over time, you hear me almost brainwashing you I guess it is brainwashing you into believing that you can do it. You hear me say that a million times. If I can do it, you sure as hell can too. And then at some point you're like, fuck it, man. Maybe I'm going to go up to that cute girl outside and say hi. Maybe I'm going to start that business even though I have no idea what to do. Maybe I'm going to reach out to, other people and ask if they want to be my friend. Maybe I'm going to start going to the gym. Fuck it. Maybe I can do this. And so, yeah, a lot of this is positive brainwashing. I'm glad you're here, man. You say you want to take more meaningful action. I don't know what your goals are, so I can't really give you advice like specifically on your goals, but I'm going to assume if you're following Good Looking Loser, your goals are probably something with dating and relationships. And so just start taking a baby step. So every time you leave the house, just think about what it might be like to say hello to a woman. You don't have to do it. You don't have to actually make yourself approach, but just start thinking about what you would say, how the conversation would go. If you see some cute girl, I don't know, sitting on a bench or something, just look at her for 3 seconds and go, I wonder what it would be like if I went over and said hi. And that's you starting the baby step of starting to believe that this is possible or starting to get yourself closer to doing it. So whatever your goals are, there's always a little baby step that you can take. Obviously, if you want my help with that, come hit me up for coaching. There's links down below to that, brother. We got the big VIP coaching program. And we also have the Abundance Collective, $200 a month. And you'd have a bunch of people in there that would tell you that you can do it and they'd help you and they'd push you and they'd guide you and all of that. But yeah, man, like you're absolutely capable of this. Just start some baby steps. All right. So for full context with this next comment, this was on a video I did called Get More Lays by Caring About Women's Safety. And I basically said a lot of guys or a lot of us aren't necessarily massively thinking about safety when it comes to sex. Like what I mean by that is generally speaking, if a man's really horny and he wants to have sex and he wants to get laid, like he just gets laid, like he just has sex. He does what he needs to do and he makes it happen. Whereas for a lot of women, they might really want to have sex, they might really like you, they might really be into you, but there's a lot more concern or a lot more thought about like safety. Like, can I trust this guy? Am I going to get judged by him? Am I going to get judged by my friends? Can I really be alone with him? Am I trusting in his boundaries or his ability to listen to my boundaries? Like, can I trust that he'll actually stop or slow down if I want to? What do I do if I'm uncomfortable? Like all of that kind of stuff. And generally speaking, that isn't stuff that men worry about as much with ourselves, but most women are thinking about this like constantly. So K215 type says, this was a great video, Andy. I thought I was always mindful of this, as in women's safety, but I had a situation where I really hurt someone that I cared about by not being mindful of this. So now I'm just trying to be better going forward. And even if she doesn't forgive me, at least I can keep this in mind and be better for other women in the future. I just want to say as a general rule for all of you listening, like men and women, but particularly you guys listening, I speak to a lot of you like privately, like in coaching, that's where I speak to most of you. And some of you email me and, all of that. But I have talked to literally hundreds of you, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 of you, like privately on one-on-one calls and stuff like that. You guys, generally speaking, are so fucking unbelievably empathetic. And you do such an amazing job of just being fucking chill dudes, just being nice people. You all, or most of you, for the most part, try really hard to make women feel comfortable. You do everything you can to be honest and ethical and upfront and all of that. Like, this is just such a great community here on this YouTube channel. Like, you guys and you girls as well, but you guys continue to blow my mind with how fucking nice and decent you are and how good you are and how much you want women to have a good time and you want yourself to have a good time. There's a lot of love in this community, like towards women and towards yourselves and towards each other. And so, my brother, and this goes out to any of you, sometimes you might make a mistake or sometimes you don't even mean to and just the other person is hurt by something you said or did and you weren't intending to. You were trying to be kind. You were trying to be nice, but you're not perfect. And I've had situations like this too. And I want to give all of you a big fucking pat on the back for even caring in the first place, for trying. Yeah, sometimes you're going to accidentally hurt someone, man. But the thing that I would say is do your best to forgive yourself. Like, maybe this woman forgives you, maybe she doesn't. But were you trying to hurt her? No. The same thing goes out to all of you listening. Like, Sometimes you're going to upset someone. You're going to piss someone off. Someone's going to be hurt by what you said or what you did. But were you trying to? And for the most part, all of you can put your hand on your heart and say, no, I wasn't trying to. Maybe I was emotional. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I did a clumsy job. Maybe I didn't know what I was doing, but I was trying my best. And I think as long as you're trying your best and you're doing your best, then take moments like this as a learning experience rather than you fucking up or you're doing something wrong or like shit. And I think your last sentence here is fucking incredible, man. I can keep this in mind and be better for other women in the future. Isn't that amazing that you're taking this as a learning experience rather than just saying like, oh my God, I fucked up and I'm going to beat myself up? I would also add in there, brother, a little bit of self-love. Like, be better for women in the future. Be better for yourself as well, man. Like, give yourself a pat on the back and say, I did my best. I genuinely fucking tried my best, and I'm a human being who's always trying his best, and that's what every person is doing. We're all just doing the best that we can. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to aim to be a little better, but you've already done a really fucking good job, man. And we can apply like this whole conversation or this whole comment to many, many, many other things. Like a lot of you are really terrified of being called creepy, like creeping a woman out. You're worried about like harassing her when you walk up to a woman in public and say hi to them. But rather than living in fear of like, what if I get it wrong? What if I bother someone? What if me approaching them annoys them? Change it to, I'm going to go in there with the intention to add to her life. I'm going to do everything I can to give her a good experience. I'm going to try my hardest to give her a compliment, to make her feel pretty, to tell her that she's, an interesting person or whatever you want to say. I'm going to ask her out very honestly and directly instead of being indirect and wasting her time and wasting my time. If she's not interested or she says she has a boyfriend, I'll say, great. I hope you and your boyfriend are really happy together. I'll try and give her, a little bit of love as she says goodbye. I'll be like, I hope you and your man are really happy. Like, that's awesome. I'm happy for you guys. And so I'm going to go in there with the intention to make her day a little brighter and to make my day brighter in the process. And if someone thinks that I'm creepy, like Andy, sometimes accidentally creep women out. Maybe I'll do a separate video on this if you want to, if you guys want me to. I can do a video on like the weirdest reactions that I've ever gotten from approaching women. Like I've had women like literally run away, like straight up run away when I'm like, hi, I thought you were super cute. I wanted to say hi. And then she like full on fucking sprints away. And I'm like, what the fuck? I just told you that you were cute. Like, what the fuck? I've had women like have all sorts of wild reactions. So if you guys want me to, I can do a video on that so you can see that it's not just you guys that gets weird reactions every now and then. Those reactions are rare. It's probably like, I don't know, 1 in 50 people, but it can happen sometimes. And so as long as I'm trying to do a good job of giving them a good experience and giving myself a good experience, if I get a weird reaction, that's okay. Like I was trying, my intention was positive. There's a really good quote that I love from Mother Teresa who says, I would rather you make mistakes in kindness than work miracles in unkindness. In other words, as long as you're going out there and just trying to be an empathetic, decent person, which you clearly are, my friend, and all of you listening, you guys and girls are, as long as you're trying to have that positive intention, if you make a mistake here and there, it's okay. Like forgive yourself, do your best, learn from it and try and do a better job next time. But you don't have to beat yourself up just because you were a messy human being who's not always perfect. I'm not perfect. You guys and girls don't have to be either. All right, next one. So this was on a video about how this process of really just self-improvement, but especially if you're going to go out there and start talking to women and hitting on them in person and really working on your sex and dating life, this process will bring up a lot of your insecurities and your issues and all of the doubts and the fears and all of that. Like, I like to say a lot that this is not just about you getting laid or meeting women or building a relationship or building a business or any of that stuff. Really, this is you starting to work on yourself. This is basically therapy. Like going out there and getting laid really is just a form of therapy. Most of the time, or maybe I can say all of the time, when all of you come to me and say, hey, I want to get laid, and I say, why? You say, because I want to feel like I'm good enough, or because I want to like myself, or because I want to be happy, or because I want to achieve something. All of these are basically just different ways of saying, I want to feel like I'm enough. I want to feel like I'm good enough. So Ziva Main says, this video is gold, man. A great reminder of why we're working on ourselves. Yeah, this isn't just about getting pussy or making money, having more dollars in your bank account or having more notches on your belt. Those things are beautiful. They can be fun. They're great. They're exciting. But really, a lot of you just want to feel like you're good enough. You want to feel like you are enough. You want to feel like you have enough. You just want to feel like you're okay. especially if you're here on a self-improvement channel, you probably found this channel because you don't feel like you're okay. You don't feel like you're enough. You feel like you're not good enough. You feel like other people are good at things and you suck at them, maybe dating, maybe money, whatever it might be. And you just want to feel like you're fucking okay. And that's why I say this journey is very much therapy. And this, by the way, is basically exactly what I do with all my coaching clients. Like, it's funny how many people will come to me saying, I want to get tons of pussy. I want to get laid, blah, blah, blah. Or I want to make tons of money. I want to start a business. And I'll be like, cool, like that's not that difficult. We're going to work on that. But the thing that they really are seeking and the thing that I or we, the coaches, give them is some self-love, a feeling of, I'm good enough, a feeling of I can be grateful for the things that I have, being able to celebrate your victories rather than just always feeling like you're not good enough and you need to do more and you have to prove yourself and all of that stuff. You will achieve far more if you actually enjoy the journey. And the easiest way of doing that is learning to be grateful and learning to like yourself. All right, so this next comment is from a video where I talked about how one of my clients that we've been working with for a while, we've worked with this guy for a year. He is now at the point where he walks up to women, hits on them and says, hey, just being honest, I'd love to exchange orgasms with you. If you're down for that, let's swap phone numbers. And this commenter here, Victor Morat, says, I would be scared to be this honest. I'd be afraid of being beat up or arrested. Yeah, first of all, I'll say none of you have to be this upfront and honest. You literally don't have to say this stuff. You're allowed to say whatever you want. It is perfectly, completely okay for you guys to walk up to women and just be like, hi, I'm kind of nervous, but I thought you were pretty and I wanted to say hi. Like, you're allowed to do that. That's basically what I do most of the time. I'm just my normal self and I'm just like, hey, I thought you were super cute. I wanted to say hi. Are you single? And then we talk for a bit and then I'm like, cool, like I'd love to grab your phone number if you're up for a drink or a date or a coffee or whatever. Like, you don't have to be walking up to women and doing this. The second thing I'll say though is this client did not just start out by doing this. Again, we've worked with this guy for a year. When he first started, was not really great at approaching in general. Like, he wasn't really able to do it. He was terrified of just like a million different things, like a million different scenarios where he couldn't approach women. Like if she had headphones in, or if she was walking too fast, or if she was with her friend, or like just a million different reasons. And again, this guy took a little while to work up to that. And he had all of us, all the coaching team and the other coaching clients, like helping him work on being more honest. And this is his like absolute main goal, is to just be as honest and upfront as he can. Like, he just wants to be autistically honest. And he has been working on that goal literally every day in every area of his life, with his friends, with his family, with people that he's dating, with people he's sleeping with everyone that he possibly can. And so he didn't just start out one day being able to walk up to women and saying, hi, I'd like to exchange orgasms with you. That took him the better part of a year. And so, brother, it's completely normal that you're scared to be this honest. Again, you don't have to be this honest. This might not be your style. I don't walk up to women and say, I'd like to exchange orgasms with you. That's just not what I do. You don't have to do it either. But yeah, it's not like he just snapped his fingers one day and became this absolute badass. And so what I'm trying to say here is, it's okay if you're scared to be honest. Again, you don't have to be this honest, but it's okay if you're scared. It's okay if you're afraid of being beat up. It's okay if you're afraid of being arrested. It's okay if you're afraid of being called a creep or a pervert, even if all you're doing is walking up and saying, hi, you're cute. Can I get your phone number? It's okay to be afraid of all of that stuff. Honesty is an ideal that you work towards. It's something you improve a little bit each day. I would have been terrified to say shit like this. And again, I don't even say stuff like this. I could if I want to. I'm pretty honest on my dating profiles. You can pause the video if you want to check out my dating profile here on the screen. But yeah, this is basically what I have on the dating profile. I'm obviously pretty honest about the BDSM. And I literally mention I'm into BDSM and kink. I'm happy to teach, blah, blah, blah. And so you can be this honest and upfront if you want to be. But you don't have to start out like that. And even me, it took me many, many, many years of practice to get to a point where I could be that honest. And I'm that honest with women that I approach on the street too. I would just have a normal conversation, like I said, but then as soon as I get their phone number, I'm like, hey, by the way, I'm into casual relationships, or I'm seeing multiple people. I'm into BDSM if that's something you want to explore. So yeah, like, you're allowed to do all of that kind of stuff, man. And like, even this here of saying, I'd love to exchange orgasms with you, if that is something that you want to say, but you're scared to say in person, again, you don't have to say it in person, But if you want to say it, you can just say it when you get someone's phone number. Like text them for a little bit, and you could even just say it on the date or say it when you go to bed. Like, you don't have to be this upfront. You can just save it for whenever you're comfortable. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll finish up there. Plenty more comments to go through, so I'll do a few more videos in the next couple of days. Like I said, right now I'm offering a couple of slots of one-on-one coaching with me, so you get daily access to me, you get a weekly call with me, and then you get all the benefits of being in the group coaching program as well. So a weekly group call in there, the Discord group and everyone else helping you in there, the coaching team helping you as well. If that is something that you're interested in, I'm only offering, I don't know, like I said, maybe 2 slots. Maybe I'll open it up to 2 of you, and it's $10,000. You have to pay in full. And if you pay in full, you will get daily access to me 16 weeks, like I said, and we will build you the life of your dreams. You will have more sex than you could ever possibly imagine. Like the clients that work with me one-on-one, like they just absolutely smash their goals because you're talking to me every single day as your personal cheerleader. And then we're doing that massive, 2 or 3 hour coaching call every week. And then you're getting all the benefits of the group coaching program. Like, you will achieve your goals. You're basically throwing $10,000 at me and saying, Andy, all the goals that I have, you better fucking make them come true. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, you're paying me a stupid amount of money. Let's do it. So if you're interested in that, I will leave a link down below in the description to where you can check that out. I'm happy to jump on a free call with you, talk through any questions you have, make sure the program is correct for you, that it's right for you, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I will leave a link down below to that. As always, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate all of you. You are all absolutely fabulous, amazing, kick-ass human beings.